The summer heat is here.
It's summertime. Kids, it's hot.
I almost come here every day. The pool is open.
And local pools are preparing for an influx of guests despite being short-staffed.
All of those pools are still experiencing some adjusted hours, and some of them have adjusted capacity levels as well.
Don't look for a lot of cooling showers and storms this weekend. Heat advisory in effect tomorrow.
I received this letter taped to the door saying that I have to be out by August 6th.
Tenants forced to move out of their apartments with little notice.
All of a sudden, I've got to figure out something soon.
The apartment says it's to complete much-needed renovations. Tenants say it's just the latest issue for a complex plagued with problems.
We certainly pay for a luxury accommodation, and it's been nothing close to that.
We know a lot of you will be taking advantage of whatever water you can find this weekend. Air Tracker 7 caught large crowds of people enjoying their day at Water World today. Now, this weekend will be likely even more crowded with temperatures in the triple digits. Thank you for watching Denver 7 News at 6. I'm Jessica Porter.
I'm Shannon Ogden. Glad you're with us tonight. Now, if you have the chance to make it to the high country this weekend, you're one of the lucky ones. If you're staying on the Front Range, you'll be one of the warm ones.
Or one of the hot ones. We begin with Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson. So, Mike, we're talking near record temperatures this weekend.
I think we break a record tomorrow that we set just last year. The record high for tomorrow's 98 degrees. We'll beat that. It was 93 today in Denver, 95 at Ray, 97 out west at Grand Junction. And the current temperature, it's still 97 at Grand Junction, while we've dropped to 89 in Denver, 86 degrees up at Greeley. Cooled a bit by some scattered thunderstorms. The heat advisory in effect, northeast corner of the state, 10 a.m. tomorrow until 8 p.m. tomorrow for the very hot temperatures. Now, we actually have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings in effect right now. A little bit of hail with some of these storms, but mostly it's gusty winds, the outflow from these storms sweeping down to the ground and blowing out in all directions. Southeast Aurora down into northwestern Elbert County, and a really tiny little one that's up just to the south of Idaho Springs. Out to the east, a few more storm warnings out in Washington County right now. That's what it looks like currently, looking off to the south and to the east from our Viero camera in Akron. Our weather headlines heading into the weekend, then isolated evening storms. Tomorrow, the highs 98 to 103. It's dry through Sunday. It does turn cooler next week, but not this weekend. It's going to be a real blazing hot weekend.
Well, it sounds like it. Thank you, Mike. And despite the triple-digit weather, public pool access will be limited this weekend in Aurora. The Del Mar pool is going to be the only one open all weekend long. Meadow Hills will be open only Saturday from 10 to 6. Park Lane only open Sunday during 10 to 6. The city says it's because of a lifeguard shortage. And right now, Aurora Parks and Rec is short 50 lifeguards of the goal of 300.
If we were to be fully staffed, which we're hoping to in the next couple of weeks or so, then all of those pools, hypothetically, so again, hopefully, right, would be open to full capacity and full hours.
And some families say because of the closures, they're forced to go to the bigger pools like Del Mar. And they say they're having to get there an hour, sometimes 2 hours early to make sure they're guaranteed a spot. Aurora and the city of Denver both opening cooling centers for the weekend. And we have a list of those locations. We also put together some tips on how to keep cool. That's all right now on thedenverchannel.com.
The partner of former Aurora Police Chief Vanessa Wilson made her first court appearance this morning. Robin Nicita is accused of falsely reporting an Aurora City Councilwoman for child abuse. Denver 7 investigative reporter Jennifer Kovaleski has been following this case closely. She was in the courtroom and continues our reporting tonight.
Robin Nicita only spoke a few words to the judge, but Councilwoman Danielle Jurinsky didn't hold back. She says her story is exposing a larger problem within Arapahoe County DHS. Wearing jeans and sneakers, the partner of former Aurora Police Chief Vanessa Wilson walked into the Arapahoe County Courthouse. Robin Nicita made her first appearance in court following explosive allegations. She's accused of making a false child abuse report about City Councilwoman Danielle Jurinsky and her young son.
She looked exactly like her mugshot. It's the first time I've ever seen her in person, and there was a lot of anxiety for me.
Human Services found the allegations against Jurinsky to be completely false. The report was filed a day after the councilwoman criticized former Chief Wilson in a radio interview.
Vanessa Wilson is trash.
We wanted to see her, and we wanted her to see us. To me, she's the face of evil.
Councilwoman Jurinsky and her family were in the courtroom Friday.
Ms. Nicita, is there anything you want to say?
Nicita declined to talk in front of our cameras. She's charged with attempt to influence a public servant. And here's more. Nacita worked as a social worker in Arapahoe County, where she's accused of making that false report. Councilwoman Jurinsky is now calling on the county to review every case Nacita oversaw.
My eyes are wide open right now. And like I said, this case has exploded into something much bigger than what happened to me. This is no longer about me. This is a fight for total justice for every single person that has been wronged by Arapahoe County DHS.
Arapahoe County says the AG's office has agreed to help them review the cases in question. And the judge issued a protection order Friday, so Nacita can't go near the councilwoman. I'm Denver 7 investigative reporter Jennifer Kowaleski.
Another Coloradan has been arrested and charged with participating in the January 6th insurrection last year. This is a picture of 33-year-old Tyler Etheridge. He was a youth pastor in Florida at the time of the insurrection, but has since moved back to Colorado Springs. According to court documents, Etheridge allegedly helped remove fencing around the Capitol that day. It says he then climbed up media scaffolding and encouraged others to keep fighting despite officers attempting to clear the crowd. Pictures also show him moving into the Capitol rotunda and interacting with officers inside. Court documents go on to say that Etheridge said in video that he would likely lose his job as a pastor and, quote, "If this makes me lose my reputation, I don't care." Etheridge faces felony and misdemeanor charges for his actions that day.
The parents of an 11-year-old girl tragically ran over by her school bus on the Western Slope in March are now suing the bus driver and the school district. Annalise Backner was running to catch her bus when she tripped and fell underneath the wheel in Parachute. After investigating, Colorado State Patrol did not file charges, saying there were no signs of distraction or impairment. But Annalise's parents allege in a lawsuit filed in federal court yesterday that the bus driver did not look at his mirror or heed warnings from other students on the bus. The Backners say surveillance video and witness accounts support their case in the lawsuit. Garfield County School District number 16 is also listed in the suit. An attorney for the district could not comment on that lawsuit.
Earlier this year, tenants of the Grand Apartment in downtown Denver asked to break their contract because broken pipes were causing flooding. Instead, they were met with NDAs, asking them not to speak badly about this so-called luxury apartment. Well, now the apartment is telling them to leave within 30 days to make the repairs that caused the flooding. Here's Denver 7's Bayan Wang.
I received this letter taped to the door saying that I have to be out by August 6th.
And tenant Will Chronopoulos wasn't the only one.
Everyone in the building is kind of freaking out as well.
The Grand Apartments off of Chestnut Place in downtown Denver sent this notice to quit letter to residents Thursday, stating in part, due to circumstances outside of our control, we are now unfortunately in a position where we are serving all residents with a 30-day notice to vacate, regardless of your lease end date.
All of a sudden, I've got to figure out something soon.
Ray Simmons received his 30-day notice a couple weeks ago.
And I've been gone the last 3 weeks for travel.
And only has 1 week left to find a new place.
No leasing staff would talk to me about it.
If you don't recall which apartment this is, here's a refresher. Water bursting through apartment units and leaking through the roof, causing floods in the last couple years.
I moved out because there were multiple floods in the building.
When others tried to break their lease, they were required to sign a non-disparagement, non-disclosure agreement, meaning no talking down the Grand to anyone or posting negative reviews.
It's like getting out of a toxic relationship.
Now the Grand is cutting all relationships with its tenants.
I don't think a tenant is necessarily out of luck in this situation.
Jacob Epler is an attorney who specializes in tenant and landlord cases.
If I was these tenants, I think I would push back on this and say, well, then I need to get an apartment. And this one was $2,000 a month. And the best one I can find is $2,400. That'll be $400 per month of damages. It's not my fault that your property fell apart.
Additionally, attorney Brian Kuhn points out that a notice to quit has no legal authority by itself. It is not a court order or an order from law enforcement. So if there's a genuine legal dispute as to whether the landlord has legal right to evict, one should go to court. If no one fights in court and everyone leaves quietly, then it is swept under the proverbial rug.
I have consulted with one of the best real estate attorneys in town.
The Grand Apartments may have some grand pushback. Denver 7, Bayan Wang.
And Bion asked management at the apartment several questions regarding this notice to vacate. Most went unanswered, but management says residents will be refunded their deposit and their fees.
If you're planning to order takeout this weekend, you'll see a new charge posted on your delivery order. A new law went into effect on the 1st of the month, adding a 27-cent retail delivery fee on all orders. For some Colorado businesses, they worry what this new fee will do to business. A Colorado Springs pub owner says while this fee was put in place by the state, a lot of the pushback will likely fall on small businesses.
We definitely don't care for it as business owners. It reflects negatively on us, and I think it affects small business in a much greater way than it affects big business.
This is not just for food deliveries. This is for any kind of delivery by vehicle, meaning Amazon orders and floral orders will also see that new charge. The fee is part of the 2021 transportation funding bill. Money collected will go towards fixing state and local roads. That fee is expected to increase with inflation.
Well, believe it or not, we are quickly approaching the return of the school year. And several districts, in fact, have their first day in about a month. So we're going to help you get ready to go back to school with our Pack a Backpack campaign. We're hoping to help more kids than ever head back to school with the supplies they need to be successful learners. Last year, families with children in K through 12 schools each spent an average of $800 on supplies. So you can help by donating to this year's Pack a Backpack campaign. A donation of $25 provides one backpack filled with school supplies for students in need. You can donate at thedenverchannel.com/packabackpack or drop off the actual supplies at any area Les Schwab Tires or Larry H. Miller dealership location.
It could be hard to juggle a healthy work-life balance.
I had no free time. I barely had enough money to do anything on my 2 off days.
So this Colorado man decided to take his juggling act to the streets.